Hello everyone, welcome to a game of Dwarves vs. Zombies. This game is already slightly underway, but hey, I'm here soon enough, it's still morning. So consider this a sort of tutorial of how to play Dwarves vs. Zombies, to an extent. It's not a complete one. So first thing you need to do is find out where the shrine is so you can get all your gear, your basic gear. Armor you're going to have to wait until someone gives you some. And I'll explain that in just a moment. Now this is all for if you have not heard of Dwarves vs. Zombies before. Now these shields are new. I've never had a shield before. Here's a spare one. There we go. So to get your items, you just have to right-click on the little item stands where they're at. And let me rearrange these things to the way I like it. I'll put the shield there because I've never had a shield before. So the shield is completely new to me, but it looks like you can block with it. So okay, you like start a fire when you use your shield. Different. Oh well. And now the sword has an animation when you take it out. Okay, that's what that weird sound is. So, in order to get torches and bowls, you need to chop wood down. With an axe, of course. And I did play a little bit of this off camera before because, well, it's kind of in the middle of a game and better off to start it right at the beginning. Now, is this where the shrine is at now? Because it's different. I think the shrine is still inside. So let's see, is it the same on this map? Yep, right click and you chop wood. Now, this actually sounds a little bit loud to me. Let me turn down my headphones. I'm pretty sure the in-game volume is about the level I need it at. So, we got a good amount of wood. Now you come over to the sawmill and you right click and it chops it up into wooden planks. You know, so fairly standard, turn logs into planks. From there, you take your planks and you turn them into sticks. And I managed to drop a lot of them, it seems. They're over here now. There we go. Now sticks you can carve into a bowl shape. Don't ask how dwarves are able to do this, they just are. So that's good enough for me. Let's get away from all this noisy ruckus. And we need to go find ourselves the oil, which we did see inside. So let's see, it's about noon right now, so we got half a day left to gather our materials. There's a lot of unarmored dwarves. Alright, so back inside we go. Now the oil fountains, you simply right-click with your sticks or with your bowls, and when you use a stick, you get torches. When you use a bowl, you get glue. Seems to be taking a little bit of time, though. They must have updated it. I suppose they updated it because you have infinite wood now. So the update to make torches gather slower means you can't just have people sitting in here spamming torches. Now the torches are important because when a dwarf is in the dark, they cannot see anything at all. So the torch makes it so you can have normal vision. I know that's a little bit different from most mythology about dwarves, but just go with it. That guy is surrounding that for some reason. It's not a shrine. Although maybe they have different checkpoints now. It has been a little bit of time since I last played Dwarves vs. Zombies. It was still 1. I think it was 1.5 actually last time I played it. So let's see, in order to gather stone, you need to have a pick and a shovel. Now the pick actually doesn't get you stone. The pick gets you gold. Now let's go down here so you can actually see this in action. This has gotten dug down quite far. So when you dig gravel, you get stone. Cobblestone, to be precise. And that is your basic building material. It is a very weak material, which is where the glue comes in. You put the glue on the cobblestone and you get bricks. And that is very durable and very resistant to being exploded by a creeper. Cobblestone, fairly weak. A creeper can blow through that pretty easily. That guy just stole my gold. Alright, so the pick, you get gold nuggets. There we go. Now let's get out of here. So we have, yeah, I'd say we have a good amount of stone. That's good enough. We don't need any more. I do have to say, these stairs, very nerve-wracking to someone who does not enjoy heights. Alright, so let's get back inside. Yeah, typically it's best to do all your material gathering at one go, and then go inside and get all your refining done at one go. Me, I'm not worrying about that right now because chances are I'm going to get the zombie plague and end up dying. It just seems to happen to me quite often. Now these guys are building some reinforcements to make it a little bit more difficult for the zombies to get through. Alright, so let's grab our gold. And what you do is you right click on this with the gold and you end up getting this block, which you need to right click with a pick to refine into a golden block. And from there, you mine it and you get a gold chest piece out of it. It's a very communal kind of process. And in order to have armor equipped onto you, someone has to right click on you with the golden armor, which is exactly what someone did for me. And now I should have had a bunch of armor on. There we go. It was invisible to me for a moment. Now we have a lot more armor than we actually need, so we have way more armor than we need. I'm just going to keep on making some, so if someone ends up getting broken armor, I can quickly put on a new helmet or something for them. That way they're just going to be able to last a slight amount of time longer. Now, as you notice, I have a much larger health pool now. This is because the armor gives you more health. Now, I'm not seeing a food meter, which is different from last time I played. Last time I played, you have a food meter, and you need to make cake. But maybe they've hidden that now, to make it more difficult. There we go, that's all I have. So how do you make cake then? Well, cake is made in these ovens. If it still works. I don't know if it does. I just am assuming perhaps it does. It might not, for all I know. Here, let me ask in the chat quick. Better ask people who have been playing it a little bit more than I have. Okay, someone said no. I'm going to assume that they're talking to me. And it is now nighttime, so we need to get out to the front lines. And some of the doors have turned into zombies. So, need to make sure they're done. Sorry guys. But why do these guys have diamond swords and armor? That doesn't seem to make sense. Yeah, they're not supposed to have this stuff, I'm pretty sure. There we go. They should all be dead now. So I need to get my bow out. And in order to get arrows, you need to punch the ground. Let's get rid of these things because they do not provide any use for me now. Okay, you have to go a little bit slow, otherwise you're going to end up just repairing your bow. Okay. So let's see, what are our defenses like? Those are kind of shoddy defenses. Now, the types of mobs that spawn are creepers, zombies, and skeletons. And as you probably noticed, the drop on the bow is a little bit more intense than vanilla Minecraft. This is to make the game slightly harder for the dwarves, but that's okay because the dwarves get one-shots on anything with the bow, as long as they are outside. If they are inside, the bows are pretty much just a long-range weapon. Now, as you saw, someone just came past as a spider. There are special mob spawns as well. Spiders, the little spiders, they can... Where's that skeleton at? The little spiders are able to make blocks weaker by spitting acid or something at them. They're also a little bit more durable. Oh, that creeper just made things go boom. Some healing ale. Spiders also can poison people. Sounds like they're focusing their explosions on this side. Let's get some torches down so it's a lot more difficult for me to go blind. It takes some time to get used to the drop on the bow. Because it is not quite the same. Nope, that looks like a super creeper. Super creepers are pretty much instant death if they explode near a dwarf. Because they launch you pretty high in the air. There we go. When super creepers explode near a dwarf, they're launched so high into the air that they're gonna die as soon as they hit the ground. There we go, another skeleton. Now, the kills that you get as a dwarf, they're not really that special, because the zombies are infinite. The dwarves, however, are finite, so each monster that kills a dwarf, they get good standing because, well, dwarves. Very difficult to kill. Ooh, I got knocked back pretty far. Let's drink up a bit. So as you probably noticed, the experience bar is actually constantly refilling to 1,000. That is because it is actually a mana bar. There we go. I tricked him. This is a very fun game to play, but it is difficult to commentate. Pretty much, it's a game best played as long as you have friends with you. Ah, so that's what the deal with all these other shrines. There was multiple shrines now. So I'm assuming... Ow! Okay, we're in the dark. Let's get out of here. Oh shit, I forgot. I'm dead. I forgot to put blocks on my bar so I can get back up on the wall quick. I actually died a lot faster than I expected, so that is pretty powerful. And now it seems that you actually spawn at this new shrine, so they re-added a checkpoint system, it seems. Which is great, because it's always been a real pain to constantly have to trek all the way back from the initial monster spawn to the Dwarven shrine area. especially late game because... Excuse me. Especially late game because it can be very, very far away. It kind of makes the game a little bit shorter, puts more pressure on the dwarves to have their defenses solidly built initially without having, time wasted. Alright, so let's explain what I'm doing. Right now, I'm constantly spawning as a creeper so I can keep hammering at the wall and eventually break a hole through it. As you see, the wall is deteriorating rather quickly. And with several concentrated creeper explosions, we can get through this pretty fast. Okay, so the dwarves seem to have fallen back pretty far now. They have been forced back inside, essentially, where their bows are going to be pretty much useless for them. Some dwarves think they're going to be smart and get all the way up on top there, and somehow that will keep them safe. There we go. Let's just kind of pick out that dwarf up there, just for the fun of it. It's very difficult to actually kill a dwarf as a skeleton. Pretty much your job is just to cause some trouble. But hey, as long as she's pinned up there, she can't be helping us. Or helping the dwarves keep the interior shrine safe, which is the main goal of the game. Right now, she has become a complete useless asset to her team. Assuming it's a her. I'm assuming because I can just see large colorful eyes, and that usually is a female skin. But I could be completely wrong. Alright, that's enough fun. Let's go and actually do some business. Hopefully the creepers have gotten the interior defenses lowered. Now, the guy riding the spider is because... I need to break this. There we go. So one exploded and helped me out. So the spider carries a person is actually a spider king or something like that. Oh, I better run away. Skeletons have an issue of dying very easily in melee combat, so they should be avoiding it at all costs. Same thing with creepers. Now, the red sparkles around this guy means he is close to death. He's running out of mana, he's only got so much time left to live. And as long as that zombie swarm keeps on him, he's going to be pretty much dead within a few minutes. I'm going to see if I can actually get a hit off him. There we go! And the final Dwarven Shrine has fallen while we chase that guy around. So that was pretty fast game. A pretty fast game. I managed to skip a word there. Sometimes these games can take possibly up to an hour, depending on how well the dwarves are defending their shrine. Although, that was back when you only had the initial spawn point for monsters. It's very possible that you're going to be able to respawn. You're going to be able to make these games significantly shorter thanks to the checkpoint shrines. So, that's Dwarves vs. Zombies. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Next, we're going to take a look at Barnyard Blitz, a game I have never played before, but I understand it's very hectic. So, see you next time, guys.